They left behind ancient castles, crowded markets, and familiar homelands, chasing a dream larger than life itself. And they found it. From small villages and struggling farms to billion-dollar dynasties that shaped America's economy, these families came with ambition and changed the world. Today, we'll count down the 5 richest European families in America. According to Forbes and Bloomberg, each of these dynasties holds staggering wealth. But behind the money are stories of risk, vision, and relentless drive. Number 5. Patrick Collison. Our journey begins in rural Ireland, where the Collison brothers grew up in a small town called Dromineer. Their parents ran a modest bed and breakfast. Money was tight, but curiosity was free. At just 8 years old, Patrick was writing computer code while most kids were still learning multiplication tables. By 16, he won Ireland's Young Scientist competition with a groundbreaking project in artificial intelligence. That brilliance carried him across the Atlantic to America. In Silicon Valley, Patrick and his brother John founded Stripe, a startup built on one simple truth: sending money online was far too complicated. Stripe became the silent backbone of e-commerce. Today, Amazon, Google, and millions of small businesses use it to power payments. Worth over $9 billion, Patrick still lives quietly in San Francisco, riding his bike to work and funding climate research. From serving Irish breakfasts to building the internet's financial engine. Number 4. Thomas Mellon. We move back to 1818. A boy named Thomas Mellon arrived in America from a tiny town in Northern Ireland known as Poverty Point. The name said it all. But Mellon wasn't born to stay poor. At 10 years old, he saw the grand mansions of Pittsburgh and read the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. In that moment, he knew his destiny. Mellon became a judge and later founded Mellon Bank. That bank financed the giants of the Gilded Age: Andrew Carnegie, Henry Clay Frick, and the steel empire that built modern America. His descendants became U.S. Treasury secretaries, art patrons, and philanthropists. What began in Poverty Point grew into one of America's most powerful dynasties. Number 3. The DuPont Family. The French Revolution forced Éleuthère Irénée DuPont to flee Paris. His family barely escaped execution. They arrived in America with little except knowledge. Éleuthère saw a nation rich in resources but dangerously weak in one area: gunpowder. So he built DuPont in Delaware. By the War of 1812, his company was supplying half the U.S. military's gunpowder. Over the next century, the DuPont family expanded into chemicals, creating nylon, Kevlar, and Teflon, products that shaped the modern world. Today, DuPont is one of the largest chemical companies on Earth, and the family has more than 3,500 living descendants, from revolution survivors to industrial kings. Number 2. The Busch Family. In 1857, a young German named Adolphus Busch sailed to America. One of 22 children, he had little more than determination in his pocket. In St. Louis, he married into the Anheuser family, and together they built something iconic. Through innovations like pasteurization and refrigerated train cars, Adolphus turned Budweiser into the first truly national beer. Generations later, Budweiser remains the king of beers, recognized across the globe. The Busch family's fortune grew into billions, though their personal lives were filled with as much drama as success. Adolphus himself, ironically, preferred drinking wine, but his name became synonymous with America's favorite beer. Number 1. Rupert Murdoch. At the top of our list, Rupert Murdoch. Born in Australia to a family of newspaper publishers, Murdoch began with a single local paper. But his sights were set on something larger. After conquering Britain's Fleet Street, he turned to America. Murdoch bought the New York Post, then founded Fox Broadcasting, taking on the television giants of the 1980s. He became a U.S. citizen to bypass ownership laws and soon controlled an empire. Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, HarperCollins, and more. Today, Rupert Murdoch is worth over $19 billion. At 93 years old, he still wields influence over politics, culture, and global media. From a small-town newspaper to shaping the headlines billions consume. From Irish coders to German brewers, From French revolutionaries to Australian publishers, these families crossed oceans with nothing but ambition. They remind us of one truth: the American dream has many accents, and for some it built dynasties that still rule today.